We have the pleasure of speaking with one of the 15 winners of the Youth Empowerment Expo 2020 Dubai Essay Competition, Recardoê Rodriques. The delegation recently returned from a trip of a lifetime, and today Recardoê is here to tell us all about that. Good morning, Recardoê, and welcome.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, SKN. How are you?
So much for having me. I'm good.
You're certainly welcome. So, I want to know already, are you still on a high from that trip to Dubai?
Definitely. I don't think it burns off at all. I mean, Dubai, if I was to explain it in words, it would be the city of the future. It's simply amazing.
Wow, city of the future.
All right, so let's talk about how you got to go to Dubai.
Well, I got to go through the essay competition. I found out about it through friends, posting it and so on. And agriculture has always been one of my passions. And so I took the opportunity to, share my thoughts on what I think could be done in agriculture here in the Federation. And so that warranted me the opportunity.
I'm going to have to ask a follow-up question. Because I'm not asking you to read the essay first, but I want to know if you could extract a particular part of that essay, what was it, do you think, that got you to be selected?
Well, I can't say for sure if it was the content, because we were told that, it was graded both by agriculturists as well as English teachers. But what I can say is two or three of my points circled around the need for more of the youth in agriculture, as well as focusing on a crop that is, relative to us. I made the point of what we call silk fig. It's known as the manzano banana. And in the banana industry, America and Latin America rules that industry. However, they don't produce the manzano banana, they produce the Cavendish.
I love the way that you did that. So I see exactly what you're doing. Find something that's unique,
right,
and develop it. Great. I can see why you were selected. Congratulations, Ken.
Thank you so much.
So tell me, I'm getting all the fun questions. What was your favorite part of this trip to Dubai?
My favorite part. There's so many parts I don't know how to choose. But I think for the Expo, my favorite pavilion was the Women Empowerment Pavilion. It was, really amazing. It showcased women in the world who made, many advancements, as well as there was this massive tree that it was made out of paper, and it was really peaceful in there and so on. So as it pertains to the Expo, I think that was my favorite part. The trip itself, I really enjoyed going to the desert. There's lots of activities there. We got to ride camels and stuff like that.
Oh, you got to tell me, because we were looking at some shots while you were speaking of you, and I guess I would say your native UAE wear. So. Right,
yes. When we went to the mosque, we got to wear, I don't want to butcher the name, I can't remember it now, but their traditional Arab wear, and for the women, it was a necessity for them to cover up. For us males, we just wanted to do it for the culture, so we bought it from the store and wore it, and I love their traditional wear. The cloth is very, very silky and soft, and it's, I've never worn something like that before.
Well, I have to say you fit right in.
Yes, definitely. Tried my best to.
All right, so tell us about the cultural experiences. Obviously, you were there for not a very long time, but in terms of the cultural exchange, were there opportunities for that? And if so, what did you take away?
Well, definitely there's a vast difference in culture. I think that what I saw that was really impressive was just how much there were many immigrants working in Dubai mainly. So there was lots of different cultures and persons from all over. I remember one time I was in the elevator in the hotel and I met one of the workers and I said, "Where are you from?" And he's like, "I'm from Sri Lanka." And I'm like, oh, that is Sri Lanka. And I just talked to him about cricket. And I was like, do you know the West Indies? And he's like, yes, I know West Indies and stuff like that. And, you know, the culture in Dubai is very different from this side of the world, very big, but at the same time, it's not very showy. It's more, that's just how they are over there. You know, it's like they're living their normal lives, but they're on a sort of different level to us in the sense that you see lots of luxury vehicles, lots of luxury houses, but at the same time, it's just persons living their normal lives.
Okay.
I love that point.
So you spoke about the women's pavilion being inspirational to you. So
Right.
what can you tell us about the St. Kitts and Nevis pavilion?
The St. Kitts and Nevis pavilion was very refreshing and enjoyable. It was really nice. They showcased, you know, the masquerade. When we got there, I think we had walked with some, not exactly sure what it was, but it was cuisine related. And so I'm guessing that persons who would visit were allowed to try some of those out. There were pictures of St. Kitts. There were paintings by Mr. Richards
Okay.
that were showcased as well. And there was a section where there was a projector that showcased the beach kind of on the floor. And then we had these big, I wish I had put that picture in there, these big sort of bean bags right in the middle of the room, like a red, green, and so on.
Oh, that's cool.
And so when we were there, we kind of chilled out there and so on.
The other pavilions that you happened to tour while you were there, you obviously couldn't tour the whole thing in a short amount of time, but I know that you went around to other Caribbean pavilions. So what can you tell us about that? Similarities, differences? Did it make you feel like you were at home?
Definitely, you know, being in a place with a completely different culture, we sort of had to visit our brothers and sisters in the Caribbean just to see what they had and to tell them that we're here as well. And they were very welcoming when they found out, you know, that you're from the Caribbean as well. We went to the St. Lucian Pavilion, we went to the Antigua and Barbuda Pavilion, Trinidad and Tobago. One of the reasons why as well is at the Expo, you can purchase a passport. And every pavilion you go to will stamp the passport.
Okay,
so we made the habit of trying to go to as many as possible, because if you're able to go to 100, you get a white passport for some reason. But I think we only pushed about 20 or 21. So it definitely was very enjoyable doing that.
I'm sure when you look back on it, you might probably see places that you haven't visited that you want to visit.
Definitely. If we could have stayed there longer, we would have.
So the topic of the essay was, how do we sustainably grow food to meet future demands? How did you manage to address this topic?
In my essay?
Yes.
As I said, I spoke to, well, besides the monoculture, I spoke about alternative agriculture techniques such as hydroponics and aquaponics. I have a friend who's studying in Costa Rica, Vian Gaines, a close friend of mine. He's studying at Earth University, and so I spoke to him about techniques that can be used. He showed me some of his projects that they work on. He taught me how you can use coconut fiber and some other things to create soil, as well as aquaponics, where you create a pond and you can have a fish farm, and the waste from the fish is used in the agriculture for the plants, you know, such as like their urine, it's high in nitrogen, I believe. So there's that in terms of sustainably growing food.
Right, so obviously you did your research when you wrote the essay, and I wouldn't expect anything any less. But in terms of the lessons that you learned, the amount of preparation that went into it, some of these things you seem to have known before, and yet other things you didn't know and you had to learn. Have you grown any since then? Do you think this competition forced you to grow a little?
It definitely has. I couldn't see down the line what writing the essay would lead to. And in truth, I almost missed the opportunity. I intended to write the essay, but it was around vacation time and I was away from school, so I didn't really have work on my mind. But I remember just my mom encouraged me to, and my dad, to take the opportunity, and I decided to write the essay, and writing it led to me doing a lot of research, learning from other persons. I even spoke to a farmer who was a friend of mine who shared some of his concerns that I also placed in the essay of agriculture in the country and how he feels that agriculture has such a large potential here, but many persons aren't very much interested in it. So it has helped me view agriculture in a different light. It has helped me look at agriculture as a means for sustainability for our country. It definitely holds the opportunity for us to become more advanced.
So you mentioned your procrastination in preparing the essay, right?
Right.
So when you sent it and you were informed that you were chosen, what was that feeling like?
It was like, thank God I wrote this essay. Right, I mean, when I found out as I got through, it was exciting, and the funny thing is, whenever we met whenever we had like the meet and greets and our parents were there with us, parents would express that these children don't seem like they're excited to go. I wish I can go and stuff like that. And it wasn't that we weren't excited. I think we were just waiting, waiting to be wowed, and we definitely were wowed on the trip. Many of us, I spoke to, the other candidates, and we all at some point, we were in writing the essay, were excited at the thought of the trip, but nothing could have prepared us for what we would see.
Okay, lovely.
It is a trip of a lifetime, I have to tell you.
Yes, it definitely
And something
is.
tells me that you're going to make your way back to Dubai.
I'm going to try my best.
All right, so having gone through this experience, is it something that you think if other youth are afforded a similar opportunity, they should take advantage of? And if so, why?
Most definitely. I think that if you're afforded that opportunity in the future, which Honorable General Powell did suggest, he wants it to be something regular. I hope I'm not calling him out on it or anything like that. But, take the opportunity, because his intent was for us to get a better view on the world and to sort of spark some creativity in us, and it definitely did that. So, if you have the opportunity, run with it.
I love that answer.
Yeah, and I am happy that he actually wrote the essay, because you see, he didn't. Had you not written that essay,
Right.
you would not be speaking to us
No,
here
I
today about
wouldn't.
the experiences and everything that
not.
you learned along the way. So
I gotta say, it would be interesting to read that essay in full. So
Yeah, I can get it to you guys.
thank you so much. I would love that. I would love that. So, Ricardo, what's next for you?
What's next? That's a good question. Well, this morning I have to head into work for sure. But what's next? I am trying my best to. Recently at Keon High, we had a women empowering girls session, and that went very well. And I am trying to work on a men empowering boys type of session in hopes for International Men's Day, possibly. But, I'm really passionate about males becoming their best selves, whether it's in education and otherwise, because the truth is, we don't always get that sort of one-on-one kind of treatment when it comes to education, and it's not always pushed. Sports is very important, but I found through going to school that in education there leaves much to be done. So hopefully we can get you guys involved. Jamie, if you'd come and talk to some of the males at the school, that would be nice.
Absolutely.
Aw, look at my
Absolutely.
co-host
Thanks for the
getting the
invitation.
opportunity of a lifetime.
It's Dubai and St. Kitts.
Yes.